atmosphere of the players in general, man. Like the contrast, like from Egypt, we're seeing all smiles, everyone seems very calm, collected, relaxed. Meanwhile, for Cambodia, feels kind of tense.
Yeah, that's true. Again, Egypt making it this far is already a massive, massive boost to their morale. Again, coming from a region that is so often overlooked, women's team too at that, and they can say that if they make it to the grand finals, we are the top two. We are one of the two best teams in the world for women's MLB. I feel like at this point they're just running on excitement now too. They're still rushing the Aurora. It's the Alpha. The only difference thing now, the draft is that instead of it might just be Edith Sicilian already locked in for Egypt.
Yeah.
Why did they ban this wheel if they want to do this?
This is them playing into it. Finally gone. What else are you playing? Are they going to try and default back to the YSS? But that is
Or the Nolan again, like
or,
game one?
Yeah, or the Nolan again too.
Do they go lane this time?
They're going to be up against Sicilian Egypt. It's going to be a tough lane game. There's always an option.
Edith Sicilian.
Yeah.
Edith. Edith Harris. Names.
Whoa.
Names is getting at worst a 50-50 in the lane now.
Yeah.
Should they secure a gold lane here before it gets banned out?
If they do, they lose the Nolan.
Yeah. Second. Wait. The jungle picks are not going to be good. It's like they're forced to pick a Nolan right here, right now.
Oh, but if they let it go, they can then revert to the usage.
YSS against that kind of lineup already. I'll be worried for Cambodia if they can even get to the point where they can be competitive. I don't think it's going to be a similar scenario where we saw their YSS shine because they just turtled it out and played better. The first free picks of Egypt tells me that wants to end this really quickly.
Yeah, this is Nolan or Bruno.
There we go. That's a good adjustment. I like that now that we did mention Tigreal, it was banned out by Egypt in the last one, and I feel like that hurt UE. At least now they have their Roam EXP shown. They can adjust their cores. So you see the solid three that they're going to be. That's going to be the foundation of their lineup.
The utility.
The utility. And then I would like to suggest for them to save their gold for the last. Really get the best possible one based on the picks that you show from Egypt.
Play has to be so near perfect.
The analyst said. So let's just dive into the Land of Dawn. We've seen this before from Cambodia. When they're put in a tough spot, they will go for a comfort pick. They will go for a pick that is just natural. And they'll sometimes come back on top, maybe equalizing here. Egypt going straight for the simple Alpha, Edith, team fight composition.
It's almost like those heroes, those combinations are like, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We've seen this so often, especially with the Edith, you know, the Harith, the Alphas, and the Hylos especially. This time, though, for Cambodia, this might be what they needed after the previous game. Again, that was such a quick game, you know, a very dominant one for Egypt, and Cambodia definitely wanted to adjust from that, and I'm wondering, because it has been a while. Like, if you think about all the competitive games we've seen, you just don't see the Lancelot pop up too much. Sunlight obviously wants to go ahead and play into the fact that, you know, she has the ability to build up an advantage if she wants to. She's level 4 already. She jumps in with the Spear of Alpha, but that's the elusive Lancelot we're used to seeing. I don't think they can actually do anything other than that, but it is a minor advantage now in terms of level even.
So far, it's the Alpha winning out in the early game, and honestly, this is to be expected, right? Especially for Sunlight's Alpha, who's just been so dominant in the early game. Your clear as an Alpha definitely trumps the Lancelot clear in the early game. But once you get some of those items rolling, yes, Lancelot will be able to get that mobility in, and also just really good clearing. Ewe.
Oh, they're going to jump in again. Thorn Rose, everything else being thrown at Fiven. Fiven will flicker defensively, though. Tagami on the chase. A couple more hits. Earth Shatter won't connect, so first blood in the hands of Tagami. Great response and good pickup early on for Cambodia.
Great puncture usage, man. Amazing chase from Tagami. Just shows you just how comfortable she is on a pick like Lancelot. We don't see it a lot, but now on the hands of her, she's already gotten that first blood. Cambodia still got to wait for level 4, though, before they can actually contest. But the fact that they've actually already delayed the first turtle take from the Alpha is great. I don't know if I would personally say Cambodia should take this fight, but it seems like they want to.
Yeah, even down that gold lane, you can see they just constantly go 1 versus 1. Names getting a little bit of advantage. Velvet holding up that front side alongside Fiven. It looks like Cambodia wants to go ahead and contest this. They are going to get in position. Navi holding on. Glorious Pathway. There's the jump. AOG, UA as all into the RWM. Tagami will get the turtle. Still looking as Velvet falls. Fiven's gone as well. And now Tagami. Navi will flicker out defensively. Sunlight. She's trying to wander away. There's multiple members here. She should be able to get out alongside Nucci. But man, Cambodia, they get everything.
Everything. All set up by Yui on the Tigreal. Really good stuff there. The implosion flicker after the shove too. So you would think that the combo was already done, but then she used the last last bit of implosion CC to get on towards Sunlight so that Tagami could get a free retribution with her Phantom execution. 3-0 with a turtle. Cambodia now, they should just play it slow. They've gotten all the win conditions that they technically need in the early game. They have shut down the Alpha from getting the neutral objective. So effectively, you've shut down the full snowball. Vivid.
Onward going to be used. Tagami's right around the corner. Vivint taking quite a bit of damage. Phantom execution again, right for Names. Names drops the Zombie Force, but you can't escape that. Again, still looking for more. Yui does fall. There's the freeze on Sunlight into the jump to the AOG. Cambodia this time in game 2. They want to fight to take it to game 3.
Don't doubt Tagami on the Assassins or all of the picks that we always doubt her on. You know, these non-meta picks, Yi Sun Shin, Lancelot, because for some reason, maybe because it's not meta, a lot of teams would not expect the damage coming through, would not expect the amount of mobility she has as well. Does seem like for Egypt, they are kind of struggling against it. Velvet.
They're going to go for Nabi, flicker forward into the Onward, into the Earth Shatter and everything else. Nabi will go down, and Names jumping in with his Almond Force on Moshi. As Moshi falls, and Yue will be able to escape. So Egypt making a play themselves. You know, those are 2 kills they definitely needed without things getting too out of hand. But Tagami this whole time just farming up, doing her thing, 10 seconds away from the turtle.
Now, for Egypt, they have gotten a little bit more of recovery here in the early game. So at least they get Names, a lot of gold there. Starleaf side already built up. Tagami, though, actually the same level. Goes up top, trying to go for the turret instead. It's a bit slow on Egypt's side to respond with the trade, though. So Tagami basically is going to get a free turret, and then she'll be able to actually contest for the neutral objective, too. I don't think they can actually burst this down fast enough. No.
Unless Cambodia just gives it up.
Yeah, Cambodia doesn't seem like they actually want to walk up.
So turtle secured, I guess, trade across the map. You know, tier 1 for a turtle. Like you mentioned, Cambodia could slow it down a little bit. Vivint will get frozen, but she's fine. Tanky enough for now on this Edith. And that's the thing, you know, when we really look at this, when we look at the compositions, Egypt's fighting power against Cambodia is actually pretty good as long as they avoid all that chain CC we saw earlier. Like, they have to, which is, part of it is, again, with Nucci, yes, if she sets up the real-world manipulation, you almost use it aggressively, or in some cases, you might even use it defensively, depending on what is thrown at you from Cambodia. The scary thing about it is Cambodia can actually layer that in a couple different ways. Yep. Either Yui jumps in with a flicker implosion, you have an Avatar of the Guardian as well, or even Nabi. Nabi can start the fight herself with this Aurora pick.
I think so too, man. Especially for Nucci, it's going to be extremely hard to escape. Usually, we see the Gato Kacha be an issue, be a hurdle for the Eve when you pop in real-world manipulation, but now, on top of the Gato Kacha, you have to think about the Lancelot. They can actually one-shot you at this point. It's Tagami 3-0-3. If you take a look at the items, it's a War Axe already, building towards an endless battle, and hey, really good itemization. Fury Hammer to get a bit more penetration in the early game, and now you can see, right, what I said earlier, Spear of Alpha used up. Oh, Tagami's just going to take it away with the Retribution too, but yeah, she definitely has a bit of an advantage now. Once she gets items, Clear Speed becomes a problem. Implosion.
Implosion, gonna be able to find two. Tagami jumping to the backside for Nucci. Nucci, not much area to move around as she's taken out by Tagami. Again, great usage of the Implosion from Yui as she constantly finds a lot of these setups. Sunlight defensively with the Spear of Alpha. Meanwhile, Name's actually doing quite a bit up there top side, pushing in that lane. So Cambodia will still kind of maintain a minor lead ahead, but good macro plays from Egypt.
Really good macro plays. At least they're able to get some turrets, some trades off the board. Cambodia just been waiting on these skirmishes, pure microing their way out of it, right? Tagami, phenomenal on the Lancelot. Flippin already very low, and even though Yui, I would say on the high-lows, on all the other choices where you're really just, you know, kind of a screener, she hasn't been able to get that flashy. Now on the Tigreal, feels like she's just in her zone.
She's in the zone right now. She's locked in. They know what's at stake here. Right now, it's a turtle. Conceal going to be used. Yui jumps forward. Glorious pathway to cut him off. There's the Implosion again. Going to be able to find three. They force the fight. Vivint's gone. They get frozen with the Frigid Glacier. Yui still alive. Finally get taken down by Names. And Names and Velvet against four. Can they actually turn this around? Names taking too much damage from Yui Fendi. She pushes her way with the Spear of Misery. Looking to clean up the kill. Jumps into the turret. And Yui Fendi will pick it up. Velvet left all by herself. Has to just watch three members focus on the objective, and right now Egypt not looking good in the fight to fight.
A big lead for Cambodia. They get the last turtle of the game. It's Tagami still online, and the biggest problem here, despite Tagami being ruthless in this game, I would say is Yui. All these initiations from Yui has just been absolutely phenomenal. Implosion, flicker, flicker, implosion. Just the decision to always go for these big initiations have caught off Egypt off guard. They have purifies. It's not like they don't have ways to deal with it, but they just haven't been able to expect it in a lot of these situations. I think at this point, Vivian will have to kind of step back a bit and play a bit. You're dead.
Yeah, I feel like she's almost, every time we see her, she's always at half health or less.
Yeah,
you know,
down.
She's always poked down already to the point where, you know, you're almost forced to use a Primal Wrath a little bit earlier than you want to, most likely. And so for Egypt, they definitely want to buy themselves some time. I think even for this first Lord, if the fight goes heavily in favor of Cambodia, which based on the gold difference it should, and the way they've been fighting, then I feel like Egypt might be in a really bad situation for this game for the rest of it. Cambodia now eyes set on Velvet. Well, she jumps forward a little bit too. Velvet tanky enough though at this point. Tagami gonna be able to find Sunlight. Still just a whole lot of checking each other at this side of the map because, you know, Lord's still 40 seconds away. Tagami, she's gonna get caught. Phantom Execution, she will be fine. Able to get on out, so right now it's just mostly just kind of testing each other.
Yeah, Tagami really limit testing there, all alone in the mid lane. Will use the puncture to escape, and now Yui Fendi will start to be a big threat too in the side lanes. She's always going to be able to clear out these waves, to have pressure in the fights as well. As long as she doesn't shoot the SOD too early, it'll always be lingering in the minds of Egypt. Every single time they go for a skirmish, every time they want to even start a full 5v4, they're going to have to think about that SOD, and if they don't, turrets will start falling down. Yui Fendi, again, playing in the side lane, waiting for an opportunity to shoot down the SOD and then enter the fight. But for now, Egypt, they're going to lose out the macro game. In the team fights, they are 2 behind. 4,000. No, make it 5,000 almost, right?
Yeah.
Gold lead for Cambodia. So even if they go 5v5, the composition of Egypt that is like built for just team fighting, they're at a disadvantage.
Already even power-wise, disadvantage face-to-face. I mean, 2 levels here for Tagami too. That's why, you know, utilizing the puncture, she's just kind of able to deal with this. They're going to be able to catch her. Thorn Rose, Phantom Execution on defense.
It's big.
Still not able to get her. They do get that down, Lord up. You can still see Yui Fendi pushing that top side. She just picks up the Malefic Gun. So now it looks like she's just going to stay there. Continue to put pressure, and they'll have to decide what Egypt wants to do. They'll take the tier 1. That tier 3 is being worked on. They get the information. She backs off for now, but still it's really close here on how they want to approach this Lord.
Yui Fendi, I think she got the Holy Defense away already.
Yeah.
So no Holy Defense before the Lord even gets taken out. Usually you would expect the Holy Defense to just be taken out after the Lord. Well, she walks up a taunt.
Pivot again, is she going to be in trouble here? Sunlight joining the fight, they're waiting for the entry. She's already taken out by Yui Fendi. Now in the RWM, Nucci dealing with the spears to the face. Yui Fendi will run her down, gets the double. Next on the chopping block is Velvet. Velvet gets thrown in the wall, and they try to keep it together. They're just falling apart one after another as Sunlight just watches as well. It was only Yui Fendi to go down, but after she took multiple bodies with her, and now Lord for the taking for Cambodia to secure.
4 for 1. It was essentially just a wipeout on the way. Sunlight depleted of all her resources too. She can't really do anything at this point as well, right? Cambodia will get the Lord for free. They've already dealt with the Holy Defense up top, and the Lord will be spawning up top, the weakest lane possible. So Cambodia have a chance to make quick work of the base of Egypt with the first Lord of the game. It's a Moskov too, so they should be able to just clear out the side lanes, 3-way push it, or maybe just go for a slow push down below. I'm not too sure what the strategy is going to be here for Cambodia to try to get more than one base turret. But even if they want to just get one, it's all good. They've baited out the Holy Defense. The Lord should be able, together with them, to get the first base turret up top.
Man, at this point, I don't know. Like, I think they can even get more than just, you know, a couple base turrets or even one. They might just fully at least jump into the base and force a push into it. They're going to work down the mid lane, tier 2. They're just trying to hold it together. Divine Glaive for names, though, might help turn the tide of the fight. But right now, Yui Fendi, a massive problem, just firing off from the backside. Moshi could jump in at any moment. Has a revitalize. Multiple flickers available too. Sunlight, she'll back off. Lord working on the turret. They're going to try to keep it together. Winter Crown will be picked up. they still just wait patiently, so no press in the situation just yet. They'll clear these out. I'm wondering what Cambodia has planned here.
Wow. None of the resources actually used up anyways, right? For Egypt, they still keep the Primal Wrath and the real-world manipulation. I would have definitely thought with the Lord and after the Holy Defense procced up by Yui Fendi, that they would have kind of been able to force out a bit more resources and maybe force the issue a bit more, right? The Lord already took the turn so low, but
yeah,
they were still just a bit too scared to walk up there, knowing that there are still tools for Egypt to look for a turnaround in the fight. So, playing it safe, nothing wrong about that. It's the orange buff take from Sunlight. Cambodia won't be able to take that away from Egypt, but they should be able to invade here on the purple buff.
Tagami's going to spawn out Velvet. Again, all this is just to take these resources if they can. You know, still surprised that even that top turret didn't go down, considering the fact they didn't even have to go through a Holy Shield, right? It was already down, the defenses were down there. So Cambodia ultimately finds themselves just kind of waiting. It's a waiting game. Maybe part of it too is just saying like, hey, you know what? We'll just fight in the jungle. Like if we can catch Egypt out even before this Lord comes up, then we'll go for that. We don't want to just overextend and get punished in the base on a defense from Egypt and have them possibly flip things in their favor. Right now, though, that's actually good for Egypt. Buys them more time to start things up, and here's what we're talking about. Vivint gonna try to get on out. She does, so that even with the Implosion's down now, 20 seconds away from this objective.
Just a few resources here that they're trying to bait from each other. Obviously for Fevin, I think definitely getting the flicker out will be amazing if Cambodia can get that done, but it still remains the same, the advantages of Cambodia. They still have a good gold lead right now going for themselves, 5,000. It's still the same as the last Lord fight, and they still have the Moskov that they can constantly just use in the bottom lane to pressure the side wave. I don't think Egypt can really look to do like much with I don't even think they have an advantage at this point, right? It's just you need to be decisive, you need to look for a pick-off, but even then, it's hard. This is not a pick-off composition. Say they go for an onward flicker. They're gonna get stopped by an implosion, by a Gato Kacha coming in from the skies.
Or they're gonna get frozen.
So many tools to disengage. Tagami is hard to catch. So the pick-off strat that we were talking about that could be an angle isn't even their strong suit in this composition. And again, if they played slow like this, just by controlling the position, going for Yui,
this might be it right here. Zaman Force already dropped down. They're going to be going for Yui. So Yui out of the picture. Still pushing on the bottom, though. Yui Fendi looking to take that base turret. Someone's going to have to go and stop her. She finally gets it, throws the spear. Won't find a connect, though, on the fight. Vivint trying to get away. There's the spear of Alpha. Tagami could be in trouble. She is low. Phantom Execution's out. The Frigid Glacier helps her out, too. Another Zaman Force already going to be dropped down. And Tagami looking for Vivint. Might join the fight. Moshi in trouble. Egypt finds a couple. There's the Earth Shatter. Going to be able to knock up. Passive from Navi's already popped. Now Tagami on the run. She's the Phantom Execution out. But this is a clear pathway for Egypt to pick up a kill. Passive proc from Navi. Navi taken out by Names. And are they going to actually take the Lord now? Tagami left alone. She takes too much damage as Names picks up a kill. What a turnaround fight for Egypt.
Nice, dude. That is a big turnaround. The gold lead, 5K. Now it's down to just 500. Take a look at the items. That's the reason they were so confident in going on the pickoff, even for Yui. We were kind of like, why would they go for Yui, the tank of all people? But no, Names is doing a lot of damage. Already has a Divine Glaive. Again, Yui's gonna be gone.
Yui's gonna be gone here. There's nothing she can do. Immortality popped. Buys a little bit of time. Even has that. There's the spear. Though, wait, Yui Fendi joins the fight. She's gonna be targeting down Velvet. Names, though, just takes another brunt of damage. There's the jump in with the AOG. It'll stop and save Yui Fendi. Already gonna pop the winner crown, so ultimately they delay the Lord take. Cambodia stays in it and stops Egypt from taking the Lord.
Well, that was a big gamble for Yui Fendi. That paid off, definitely. The SOD into 3 members. You wouldn't expect anyone to take that SOD, especially against a Hera that can one-shot you. But Yui Fendi had the Rose Gold. She had already preemptive measures now, and it becomes a 4v4. No Nuchi versus no Yue.
Oh, this is tough. They might just have to let this one go. Cambodia played it smart. Tagami gets the Lord, and Egypt, even after a great team fight earlier on before all that broke out, will find themselves once again on the defense. And yeah, great job from Yui. You know, just when we were thinking, what is the play here? What's the plan? She buys enough time, allows Cambodia to stall out, and now get the Lord. This is a great pickup for Cambodia to march into the base.
good end angle for Cambodia if they can actually utilize it this time around. They're going to manipulate the wave so it crashes down together. And this time, it's not going to be as easy as looking for pickoffs. They had the better positioning around the neutral objective. At least they were able to occupy some bushes to go for flanks to catch Cambodia off guard. But now, inside their own base, everything becomes a little bit more one-dimensional. When you walk up straight in towards Yue, in towards Moshi. That's a turret already, just with the minions. And the Lord is still marching down in the bottom lane.
Lord now in the base. Velvet will drop down the Glorious Pathway. They want to hold on to basically the game. They should lose this mid turret too. There's pressure from Cambodia. Sunlight defensive, Spear of Alpha, they're looking to collapse down. Yue could be in trouble. Implosion gets tossed up into the air. Phantom Execution into an AOG. Has the Immortality still alive. Velvet takes quite a few shots at Yue Fendi. Unleashing, but finally gets taken down. The Spear of Alpha right on Navi. They're going to force them back. Egypt fights with their life, stays in the game as we near the 20-minute mark. They lost their base turrets, but they're still in it.
Great play from Names in the skirmish earlier. Just very, very patient in the back, waiting for the exact moment where Cambodia used all their resources for her to just clean up with the Zaman Force. Unfortunately, Tagami was just a bit too clean with it, right? The Thorn Rose, perfect timing to escape from the last basic attack that should have taken her down. Let's take a look at the items here. It's the Rose Gold Meteor that we mentioned earlier for Yue Fendi. That's really the reason she's been able to stay alive for a lot of these skirmishes for a long time. But now it's getting to a point that Names is doing a bit too much damage, even with the Rose Gold Meteor. That Divine Glaive is just penetrating through the shield, penetrating through the magic defense that she's gone with that. And she's gone for Sea Halberd too. At this point, mobility becomes a very, very big tool to utilize for the Moskov, right?
Yep.
So Yue Fendi might have to also take a Names approach to these team fights. Wait in the back, patiently, use the SOD to try to clean up once the resources have been depleted. Because the way that she's been playing a lot of these fights, she's been going in a bit too deep, and the damage certainly catches up to her.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things you got to be careful for. Look at this, too.
Yep.
Oh, Sunlight jumping in. Spear of Alpha going to be used.
Okay.
That was a conceal play, too, coming out from Cambodia. So both teams, you know, really kind of just testing the waters, seeing what they can get. The fact that Cambodia has all those base turrets down in Egypt's base gives them that advantage. So I'd be surprised almost to the fact that Egypt actually is able to contest this. They might just have to give a Lord up and then defend again, but they are going to get the information they need. Providing that vision here for Egypt is Fivin. They'll keep pressure, though. Yue Fendi could honestly just go ahead and keep towards this side of the map and then join the fight later on if it actually breaks out.
Okay.
But once again, both teams kind of just waiting for this to start up.
For Cambodia this time, they might not even need to send Yue Fendi into the far lane. The last few fights has always been Yue Fendi in the far lane, clearing it up. Now there's going to be super mini waves always just pushing towards Egypt. So Egypt will have to be decisive. That's all, right? It comes down to them being decisive. If they hesitate for just a bit, Cambodia will either take the Lord for free or get the game end. Up top, you can see Yue Fendi now already walking towards the orange buff. That will give her time to actually wait for the super minions to slow push up top. Once that happens, that's going to be a problem for Egypt to handle. Now, luckily, though, Cambodia have kind of let go of the Lord, so it gives Egypt more space to go up top. And if they actually stay in the bushes, if they don't walk up, that's a very, very intelligent move.
They might try to catch her.
For a catch on Yue Fendi once she reveals herself. No.
All right.
Names will reveal herself first, so Yue Fendi will stay put, and Cambodia are already on it.
At this point, two Names picking up the potion.
SOD.
Spear gonna land. It's on Velvet. Not sure if she's gonna follow it up just yet. AOG gonna be used. Nucci drops the RWM. They're gonna be forced to fight. Velvet's already gone. Lord's gonna reset. Yue Fendi unleashing on Sunlight. They're gonna join the fight. Names walks on forward. And they might try to stall this out. They're down 2 members, though. I don't know if this is a fight that Egypt wants to take. They might still try as Vivid jumps into the Spear of Alpha, able to find 2, but they're collapsed down. They're frozen by the frigid glacier. Names unleashing to the backside. Will be able to pick up 1. Already dropped the Zaman Force. It might have been enough to stall things out. Yue Fendi keeps the Lord going, though, and Names has no choice but to back off. Yue Fendi will start targeting her, and Names is gone. And Cambodia wins that fight, and they might just make a beeline for the base. 4 members against Sunlight. Sunlight not going to be able to defend this against herself. She just tries to keep things together, but the base is going to be worked on, and Cambodia will take us to game number 3.
Whenever you see Cambodia pick up a jungler, always on the back of that crazy pick.